The opposition leader joins me now from Brizzy this morning. G'day, Tony.
G'day, Karl.
Good to have you with us. Today's polls, they give you any swagger back?
Look, Karl, polls will go up and down between now and election day. I've always said that winning government from opposition is like climbing Mount Everest, and so every day I'll just be doing my best to hold a bad government to account and to be a strong alternative.
Laurie Oakes said on our show a little bit earlier that he expected that the polls for Labor could be worse given the figures that were released towards the end of last week. Did you expect that might be the case?
Well, there's no doubt they were very bad figures. The budget position is deteriorating to the tune of $3 billion a week. Kevin Rudd is borrowing $50 million a day. We've got unemployment marching towards 800,000. We've got debt surging towards $400 billion. These were a shocking set of numbers, and they demonstrated that this government has effectively lost control of its own budget.
Given that, would you have anticipated their figures would have been worse today?
Look, we've got an election on, and every day I'm going to avoid running a commentary on the polls. I'm going to talk about building a better Australia, because that's the choice that the Australian people have, Karl. A stronger Australia and a better future under the coalition, or more of the same under Labor.
How much of a worry is it for you that your personal approval ratings aren't higher?
Well, look, this isn't a beauty contest. It's not Celebrity Big Brother. What this is about is a better Australia, and if you vote for me, we'll build a stronger economy so that everyone can get ahead. We'll abolish the carbon tax. We'll get the budget back under control. We'll build the infrastructure of the future, such as WestConnex in Sydney and East-West Link in Melbourne, and we'll stop the boats. And that's what I think people are interested in, Karl.
The problem is
they want real change.
The problem is,
real change.
Given the contest, the head-to-head contest in terms of popularity, they would choose Kevin Rudd over Tony Abbott. So how does Tony Abbott overcome that?
Well, let's see. That's what we'll find out on September the 7th. And I just keep doing what I'm doing, which is to promote real change as opposed to the cosmetic changes and the fakery that we've seen from this government.
It does look like, though, it is yours to lose at this point. There's been a lot of water under the bridge, but it still looks like that is the case. That comes with its own pressure, though.
Well, there's always pressure on major party leaders, and I think we've handled the pressure of the last 3 years pretty well. We've had the same strong team, we've had the same clear plans for 3 years, whereas Labor have had in just over 3 years, they've had 2 changes of Prime Minister, they've had 6 small business ministers, they've had 5 assistant treasurers, they've had 4 immigration ministers, and they've had almost every possible position on the big issues, and they haven't solved any of our problems. You
know that Labor is going to pepper you with more detail on your funding and the funding shortfall. They have labelled something in the order of $70 billion. How are you going to overcome that? When are you going to come out with your own facts and with, more importantly, your numbers for the Australian people? Well,
every time we release a policy, it will be costed and funded, and all of the initiatives that we take to the people in this election will be fully funded, nearly always, from sensible savings to unnecessary and wasteful government expenditure. For instance, Karl, when we said that we would scrap the carbon tax but keep the carbon tax compensation, so they were real tax cuts and real benefit increases, we identified some $15 billion worth of savings over the forward estimates to pay for that.
All right, just in terms of the others, though, and those budget shortfalls that they're claiming, they're going to pepper you with that information. When are you going to, for example, deliver all of your savings, and how are you going to deliver, how you're going to pay for things like school reforms? When are we going to see those details which the Australian public, which you've said all along you will show? Is it going to be the next day, the next week? Because we're running out of time now, of course.
Well, in good time before polling day, and on the question of schools, when it comes to funding, Kevin Rudd and I are on exactly the same page. We're on a unity ticket, and we'll fund schools in exactly the same way that the government will fund them. We'll fund the National Disability Insurance Scheme in exactly the same way that the government will fund them, because we're going to work out of the same funding envelope. We want better schools. That's why we're going to be talking about better teachers, better teaching, more parental and community engagement, stronger curriculum, because that's the real educational battleground. It's not the money, it's the quality that counts.
Voters will see, irrespective of what either side says, voters will see a lot of negative campaigning during this election. As we know, it goes with the territory. I guess you have to run the risk of voters going to the minor parties if you do that, or if your party does it through campaigning, and us ending up with another hung parliament. Are you saying this morning, though, you'd categorically, you won't do any deals with independents or minority parties to form government?
Yes, Karl, I won't, because the Australian people are sick to death of a hung parliament. They're sick to death of minority government. They want strong and decisive government, and the only way to change the government and to have a better future is to vote for your Liberal and National Party candidates. Voting for minor parties, voting for celebrities, voting for independents runs the risk of giving us back a bad Labor Green government.
All right, we don't want to end on a negative note, as we did with Anthony Albanese early this morning. I don't mean we ended on a negative note, but we don't want to end on a negative note. What is the best thing I'm going to ask you this morning about Kevin Rudd?
He's got a nice family, and in recent times, he's vindicated all of the criticisms that the coalition's been making of the Labor government. He's admitted the carbon tax is hurting you. He's admitted they've got it wrong on borders. He's admitted they've lost control of the budget. So he's been quite good in that sense.
We do love awkward.
Is that okay, Karl?
No.
Is that all right?
It'll be up to the Australian people to decide that, Mr Abbott. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck.